Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
how are we?
Good.
Everybody.
I feel like it's been forever, but I forgot I wasn't on last week. That's why it feels like forever for me.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's how you feel like forever.
Yep.
It does feel like a long time, though.
I think a lot's happened.
A lot.
Exactly.
And
A lot of motions under the bridge.
That's true.
I still haven't finished downloading and reading everything.
Me neither.
yeah, me neither. There was a lot.
Is
There was-
everyone's audio fine? Like I hear you guys, but I feel like it's extra quiet. Is
I
that
feel
just on
like-
my end?
No, I feel like that too. Like Ginny and Carrie are quiet and y'all weren't
Yes.
backstage. It's really weird.
Really?
Mine
Am
okay?
I still
Let
quiet?
us know in the chat if the audio sounds okay from all of us. Yeah, kind of weird. Like my volume's up extra high.
Hmm.
Who knows?
I don't know. I'll turn mine up a little bit.
Do I still sound quiet?
That sounds better.
Okay. I moved my mic a little closer.
Okay.
I
Perfect.
may have accidentally pushed it away.
Super.
Okay. Nancy says we all sound normal. Whatever normal is for us. Huh?
That's
Okay,
good.
audio good. Thanks, guys.
We're not normally normal.
Yeah, I wouldn't put us in the normal category. Oh, Drew says audio is even. He didn't tell us we were
Super.
normal.
Super.
So, what do we got on our plate, guys?
What are we starting with? I would love at some point to, did everyone see Jen McCabe's affidavit? I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yes.
We should read that at some point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, we should.
I've read so many motions at this point, highlighted so many documents. Ginny, your file naming hygiene is much better than mine. Mine, the ones I downloaded today were just all search results.
Oh yeah, no, there were so many I had to know.
You did good.
There was a good one today that I don't think a lot of people have seen before, that the federal government had hired a digital forensic analyst to do 227 and also found that it did not happen at 227.
Yep.
So that
I forgot Lally mentioned that.
He
Do
did.
you guys remember that? It's been so long ago, but
Yeah. So
yeah.
that's why, and Karen knows this, Aidan knows this, her lawyers, they all know that. So no one besides Richard McNasty Green has ever said that 227 happened. So that will be in their discovery. So
They knew it and they withheld it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
she's
That's right.
still putting it in motions
Mhm.
They absolutely are, which is a
to
little,
this day.
Especially with the idea that they use this federal investigation with ARCA as if it was like the pivotal thing of like equating ARCA with the feds, right? And it's
Yep.
like
Yes.
even
not only did they say
microdots, right? And he's like, the feds said John wasn't hit by a car, and it's
Yeah.
like, first
the
of all,
feds
that's not
said
how.
227 didn't happen, and they also said, which Hank announced in open court, that he was not bit by a dog.
Right.
yes. Yes.
But they don't want to hear that.
No.
Those feds that did that, did those tests, they're corrupt. But the other feds,
Yeah, those
that
feds.
tested- that the other feds that tested,
Adam Deach and Josh Levy and Dustin Chow are good feds.
They're
Right.
good feds.
Right.
And then the star-bellied sneech feds are the ones that are lying.
Mhm.
Right.
But my favorite unhinged tweet of the week was the Chloe, superimposed Chloe image where her jaw was like 25 inches wide over John's arm. I don't know if everyone had a chance to
I
see
didn't see that.
that was
Extremely
Right.
unhinged.
insane.
And they're like, totally.
Jenny posted it if you need to see it.
This
Well, I
looks legit.
quoted, somebody else posted it and I quoted it. And I thought her comment was so funny because she was like, it's like Chloe's like a raptor or something.
Yes.
I forget exactly what she said, but something like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh my God.
if you even look at your arm, like that is the biggest, I think I said Clifford the Big Red Dog
Yes.
make those dog bites. You know?
And
I mean,
the overlay of the photograph was so ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
how
And they
someone
still-
could do that in
They still have the problem of the bruising, right? Like their whole
Yeah.
thing is like the lack of bruising. And it's like this, you guys still have a problem here. In
right.
theory. I mean, many problems, but
Yeah, they're
It's
not
like
going
they
to clip
just
those.
they just expanded it. They kept expanding it until the teeth actually fit one of, two of the scratches on either side. That's literally what they did.
Right. It's insane.
It is.
They're crazy.
Anyway,
Well, let's get going. What are we
yeah,
going to
we need
start
to
with?
go. Yeah, we got to go because we always take forever.
We do. Okay.
Did
So,
you see in that Discovery his mugshot? That was the best.
It was so funny.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, he will. I don't think he'll ever testify again because they'll always bring this up, right? So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so
No,
I
he's
don't
toast.
ever foresee him. Same honestly, sadly, with Shannon Burgess, right? Because they would bring up what happened in this trial, which is they ruined him.
Yeah.
So rightfully so with McNasty here, but over a LinkedIn profile, that is very sad.
It's so sad.
Oh, before we start this, can I show those two texts?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I don't think these can be shared enough. So this text, I don't know how to get that off the screen. I don't have the remove button anymore. The comment.
Weird.
I can.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah. So this text,
Oops, I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah. So this text was, I believe it was July or August after Aidan had started, quote unquote, reporting on this story.
Mhm.
He had signed with the Wahlbergs to do a documentary. Obviously, that went nowhere. But I think it's really important to read what he wrote here and understand that the protests were just a cover. They were not. They were a vehicle to accomplish something, and the accomplishment was to make money, right? So they wanted to make it look like it was this grassroots movement, and that is not what was going on. This was all orchestrated and staged. Aidan knew what he knew in his head. I guess he thought he could do with it, and that's what he was trying to accomplish. So yeah, so he says, but yeah, thinking about what this could be. The story is catching on nationally now, and I'm going to be the face of it. With the protests and the turtle riders, they could sell this to HBO for $50 million. So, I hope you guys share that message everywhere. And I think probably we need to develop this a little bit more. And here's another one. You guys have seen this one too. This is David Yannetti and Aidan, and you can see that these lawyers were involved in getting these protests. They were very interested in these protests happening. From Karen's perspective and her lawyer's perspective, it was to garner more attention, right? If you watch court TV, you probably know that Vinnie Politan would say all the time, like this grassroots movement. This was all, it was all fake. And it was not done to petition the government. It's kind of like if you have a laundromat, right? And you're using it to launder money. Like the laundromat is a legitimate business, but it's just a cover for something. That's what the protests were.
And since David Yannetti used to be part of the government, he probably could have connected either Karen or Aidan with someone they could petition, right?
Sure.
Prosecutor.
Yeah.
No, he wanted to know about the protests.
Yeah, we talked about all the things he could have done last week, remember? He had a lot of options.
Yeah. Starting with calling 911, of course. But also Alan Jackson's first, meetup with Aidan was about money. It was about the fundraiser. He sent him that screenshot of the fundraiser and he said, for our meeting or for Tuesday or whatever it was. And so, yeah, it's very clear what it was about.
I hope someone can find on his phone that recorded call of, we know it's at least one attorney, right? That first phone call, we know he recorded it. We know it's 16 minutes. And I sure hope whoever gets his phone extraction is able to find that call.
I wonder if the Commonwealth has listened to it.
I don't know. It's got to be somewhere, right?
It's in the extraction.
Yeah.
They have the file. So if they haven't listened to it by now, I'd like to ask why.
I don't even know if they're in his phone yet. Are they still working on words or something like that? It's
No idea.
Search terms.
Yes, I think they still are.
I mean, which is crazy considering everything that's come out.
Yeah, how much leeway do you give them? I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey, Lydia, we might have a problem. Look.
Did I do something? Oh, I'm everywhere and nowhere.
Why am I you? That's so. I mean, I don't mind being you. That's an honor. But
yeah, what's your problem Tuesday? Yeah,
if I have to.
That's okay. We'll just keep
my camera off. I'll be Lydia.
Keep them guessing. What am I? Am I me if I turn my camera off? Let's see. I am.
Oh,
we'll just change everybody's picture to me. Okay, let me put this back up. And I'm actually going to read from my, if y'all want me to read, I'm going to read from my copy because it's a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I can't see it. So
I definitely do not want to read.
Okay. All right. This is the plaintiff's response to Karen Reed's motion to dismiss. Defendant Karen Reed's motion to dismiss should be denied at the threshold because it is not directed to the operative complaint. Shall I pause?
I mean, that is such a huge mistake to make. And if you guys have not looked at the exhibits and the emails that went with this, you got to look at them. There's something else. And we're still waiting for a response from Kearney.
Yeah, about the reply email.
Yeah, about the reply. Right. So we'll find out probably more about that tomorrow. But
the weird thing is that 12/31 is the time that his email went out, but it's also the time supposedly that Rosenberg's came in. So they're like right at the exact time. So I'm interested to see how that plays out.
Yeah, if they crossed each other. Yeah.
Right. And so and it wasn't like it was a two sentence email that had been sent. So I mean,
how many days of him trying to get a response to this?
Right.
It was like 2 weeks. So I am very curious as to what Damon said back to him.
Yeah, me too.
Very curious.
Yeah. And what we're talking about, did we make it clear?
Yeah,
they were emailing back and forth about this point, that the response from Karen did not address the amended motion on the behalf of the plaintiffs. It was only addressing the original motion. So that's what they were going back and forth about.
And
and it wasn't corrected, right? So
they responded to the wrong
complaint.
Correct.
Right. Because remember, they filed their complaint.
Yeah.
She responded. They responded. She filed an amended complaint. They responded to that amended complaint. That is what she needed to reply to or respond to in this filing, but she didn't. She responded to the original. Because
and that's like a sale. It's not even in existence anymore because it was superseded. So they responded to something that
doesn't exist, basically.
Yeah, which takes a lot of time, and they were trying to figure out do we really have to answer this because you really should not have replied to this. So
and there's a lot of
procedural error.
Yeah, and they added a lot of stuff to their amended complaint that there's nothing in her reply.
Yep,
they added all of the ID doll stuff, right?
Yes, the ID
stuff.
And her motion is so nitpicky about certain things. It's a real unforced error to respond to the wrong complaint.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty big oversight given all the attorneys, but I'm almost wondering if it's there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
That's what I think. There's too many.
10 attorneys is too many? Is that what you're saying?
10 attorneys trying to make top ramen in the kitchen can get a little crowded.
Well, it seems like it's Aaron and Damon that are writing most of the motions. And then Charles Waters is doing a lot of the depositions. I don't know what the car insurance company is doing. Like that's what Sarah is it Sarah Shipley and that Tang and Marvellis? I don't know.
Something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're probably just praying for it all to end. If I had to guess, they got to be miserable. Okay, plaintiffs Jennifer McKay, Brian Albert, Colin Albert, and Brian Higgins filed the first amended complaint on June 5th, 2026, adding detailed allegations concerning Reed's defamatory statements and conduct, including statements Reed personally made during recorded interviews with Terry Dunn Muir and her production team. Reed's motion, nevertheless, is directed to the inoperative superseded pleading. It uses the former Barnstable caption, cites obsolete paragraphs and count numbers, and fails entirely to address the amended complaint's new allegations. Contrary to Reed's anticipated position on this issue, that defect is not cosmetic. Reed's procedural and substantive misfire matters because the Muir allegations, wherein Reed accused the plaintiffs of being first-degree murderers and participants in Officer John O'Keefe's killing, are now central to the plaintiff's direct defamation claim against her and to the plaintiff's theory that Reed knowingly participated in a coordinated campaign to destroy the plaintiff's reputation. I'm ignoring all the citations. A motion that ignores the operative pleading cannot carry Reed's burden under either statute or anti-SLAPP statute. On the merits, the amended complaint alleges a straightforward and deeply damaging course of misconduct. Plaintiffs allege that Reed struck O'Keefe with the back of her Lexus SUV while intoxicated, made repeated admissions at the scene that she had hit him, and later abandoned those admissions in favor of a public relations strategy that falsely blamed the plaintiffs for O'Keefe's death. Plaintiffs further allege that Reed enlisted defendant Aidan Kearney as a public mouthpiece, used intermediaries, counsel, and encrypted communications to feed him non-public information and defamatory narratives, praised his publications, coordinated with him around court proceedings and media events, and celebrated the resulting damage to the plaintiff's reputations and to her own jury pool, which is almost her exact words. And I thought it was interesting that they say counsel in there.
Yep.
Because she talks about Alan Jackson in her filing and how they should sue him for defamation if he said something defamatory.
Don't give him any ideas.
Oh, please. We've been so good. It's almost Christmas. Okay. The result, hang on, let me switch. Did y'all switch slides for me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The result as pleaded was not constitutionally protected petitioning. It was a multi-year campaign of defamation, harassment, intimidation, and destruction aimed at witnesses in Reed's criminal case and sustained for profit, publicity, and litigation advantage. For the following reasons, Reed's motion must be denied. Background. Plaintiffs commenced this action on April 16, 2026 in Barnstable County Superior Court, alleging that Reed and Kearney orchestrated a multi-year campaign to defame, harass, and torment plaintiffs by falsely asserting they were responsible for O'Keefe's death in a cover-up. After the case was transferred to Plymouth Superior Court on May 27, 2026, I thought this was funny since they mentioned that they filed the amended complaint on June 5th. Does that mean that they were sitting there with their quills at midnight on May 27th already writing this motion? Because that's not a lot of time in between the complaint and the amended complaint for them to construct this whole story and disregard everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, weird.
It's a small window. Plaintiffs filed and served the operative amended complaint on June 5th, 2026. The amended complaint amended the initial complaint in numerous material ways. Yet on June 18th, 2026, Reed served a purported special motion to dismiss and Rule 12b-6 motion directed not to that operative pleading, but to the superseded complaint. The motion failed entirely to respond to a series of new allegations made against Reed use the old case caption, and reference non-operative count numbers and citations. See Declaration of Kieran T. Murphy in support of opposition. Only after the plaintiffs inquired of Reed's counsel about Reed's failure to respond to the amended complaint did Reed serve a revised motion on June 23rd, captioned in Plymouth County and keyed to the amended complaint's paragraph and count numbers. That belated filing did not cure the Rule 9a defect. It merely preserved the same substantive attack while swapping in new citations. Reed's June 23rd motion was untimely under Rule 9a. Plaintiffs never consented to its service, and plaintiffs put Reed's counsel on notice that their inclusion of the June 23rd motion in the instant package would violate Rule 9a. Reed should not be permitted to deflect the court's attention from the massive procedural and substantive deficiencies that she answered the wrong pleading by reserving after the deadline a cosmetically corrected motion that merely changes citations and counts references. So that's the second time they've said cosmetic. If you're
Yeah, someone's asking who noticed this error first. That was the plaintiff's attorney. It was Kearney Murphy. Well, he sent the email to them first and explained it to them.
Yeah. Okay. So plaintiffs were key witnesses in connection with the Commonwealth's investigation into O'Keefe's death and Reed's prosecution. The amended complaint alleges that on January 29, 2022, Reed struck O'Keefe with the back of her Lexus SUV while driving drunk, left him incapacitated in a freezing condition on the front lawn of 34 Fairview Road in Canton, and repeatedly told first responders, "I hit him, I hit him, I hit him." Reed was later indicted for second-degree murder, manslaughter while operating under the influence, and leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death. After a mistrial in 2024, she was retried in 2025, convicted of operating under the influence, and acquitted of the remaining charges. Plaintiffs allege that Reed initially confessed that she was responsible for O'Keefe's death, but later changed course and began falsely accusing others. According to the AC amended complaint, before her June 2022 arraignment, Reed falsely claimed that O'Keefe had been beaten up by Brian and Colin Albert, even though she knew that accusation was false because she knew she had hit O'Keefe with her vehicle. Plaintiffs further allege that Reed later enlisted Kearney to disseminate and amplify a false narrative that the plaintiffs murdered O'Keefe, covered up the murder, and framed Reed. And the footnote on this page says, moreover, Reed never initiated a Rule 9c conference prior to filing this motion package. Reed used an intermediary and counsel to conceal her relationship with Kearney and preserve plausible deniability while feeding Kearney non-public information and lies to publish on her behalf. But did you notice in her motion that she is ceasing to distance herself from him?
Well, I mean, she admitted it on the ID doc, so I don't think she can plausibly put in a filing. You know what I mean? Like, she's got it.
Yeah.
She already did it because she doesn't know when to be quiet. But yeah,
true.
What's really funny is that their motions to dismiss really, they kind of, she's basically undoing everything he's trying to do in his, because she's saying, yes, I gave him this. Yes, I handed this over. I wanted him to do this because of this. And he's like, I reported this all on my own. I can't.
He paid me anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny.
It's pretty funny.
He's also contradicting him. Well, so is she a lot, but he's contradicting himself so much. Did you see the tweets that were pulled up from, I think it was September of last year, where he was like, yeah, she fed me the story. I mean, he's just blatantly saying that. And his affidavit is like, no, she did not feed me the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like a walking contradiction.
Yes, I was just going to say the same thing. That's
He really is.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because he doesn't remember the things he said.
No.
And then when we pull out like the videos and put them right next to each other, he's like, oh.
Yeah, that just happened, Jewel, last week. What was it? What did he say? Remember? And then it was like exactly, he said he didn't say it. And then we had, that's going to drive me crazy.
There's been so many.
I mean, again, he uses the internet as a diary. So what do you think's going to, and he's a liar. He admits he's a liar. So
Yeah.
It's not a good combination.
No.
Well, for him, for us, it's fun.
Did you see this? Did you see this comment? And this is hilarious.
I don't think she's paying them.
No, she's not paying them. So that might be part of the problem.
Yeah.
She's getting her money's worth.
Someone's paying them. Someone's paying them.
Someone has to be. I don't know how they're working it out, but
Someone's paying them.
Yeah. The AC describes the public launch of the defamation campaign in April 2023 when Reed filed a discovery motion falsely accusing Brian Albert and Colin Albert of responsibility for O'Keefe's death and McCabe for being the mastermind of a cover-up. Reed attached an unredacted incident report containing plaintiffs' private addresses, cell phone numbers, and social security numbers and forwarded the filing to Kearney through an intermediary so he could publish the accusations and foment harassment. Kearney's defamatory Canton cover-up posts followed, and the coordination continued throughout 2023, including in-person meetings, encrypted communications, and over 189 phone calls between Reed and Kearney.
I mean, she sent this lunatic their social security numbers, guys. Like,
But then in her motion, she's like, no, I was just petitioning the government by sharing confidential information with Aidan Kearney.
Can you imagine? I would lose
I don't even know how that makes any sense.
And they're still up. They're still up there.
I know.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you mean she was petitioning the government? He's not the government. What is she talking about?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, all of the action was directed towards the witnesses. So are they the government? I don't know.
Well, apparently Aidan Kearney is the government because she was petitioning him to get help. In Kearney's initial post, he stated that Brian Albert and Colin Albert were capable of killing O'Keefe, that Colin Albert had a motive, and that McCabe was the quarterback of the cover-up, and that McCabe could not have covered up the murder without law enforcement assistance. And I'm curious about this because if you're petitioning the government because you think Jen McCabe was the quarterback for Colin and Brian Albert, then why do you later change your story and say, oh, no, I never said Jen McCabe did it. I never said that. Wouldn't you still be petitioning the government for the same thing if that's what you were doing?
Yeah, you'd think so.
Weird. Kearney claims there was a mountain of evidence that O'Keefe was killed by Brian Albert, Colin Albert, and possibly others, and that those statements were based on sources that were, in reality, Reed and her legal team. Thereafter, Kearney's audience exploded, giving Reed a larger platform for her defamatory narrative. Kearney used phone numbers made public through Reed's filing, which he received from Reed to call McCabe and Brian Albert during a broadcast and accuse them of a cover-up. And he left Brian Albert a voicemail asking whether Brian Albert or Colin Albert killed O'Keefe and whether Brian Albert was covering for Colin. Kearney also displayed the incident report containing plaintiffs' personal identifying information, after which plaintiffs began experiencing disturbing levels of harassment. Minutes after that broadcast, Reed's attorney, David Yannetti, congratulated Kearney by text, writing that it was a great fucking show.
Yep.
What I don't understand is the whole Jen McCabe focus. Like calling her a killer, even in their own theory, she has nothing to do with murdering John. So how do you say you're saying that to petition the government? I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
So in his comments, he said she was great content.
Right.
She gives him great content. So, and I think Colin did as well. So those were the two people he really went hard after because they got a lot of views and they got a lot of clicks and people loved it. People loved, going after Jen and Colin. So I think it was a content thing. I don't think it had anything to do with her role or, you know what I mean?
Well, and their vulnerability, right? He goes
Brian,
after women and children.
Brian and Brian aren't interesting to him. but she is, and Colin is. You're right.
Yeah, and I don't think content is a basis for petitioning the government either.
Are you sure?
I don't think. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but it's. I mean, that is a. If it weren't all on video, it would be one thing.
Right. Right.
I mean, he is on video saying she insists on going out. She insists on going to these lacrosse games. I mean, how is that petitioning the government?
Like, and that his entire goal is to destroy their lives.
Right. And business. Yeah. Reputation.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
No. I mean, when you think about it, like they have to, I mean, the judge has to dismiss these motions because then anybody could do it, right? You could just stand in front of town hall and say, you know, so-and-so is a rapist, but I'm standing in front of town hall. So
Right.
And that didn't work for Bullhorn Betty, right? It didn't work for a lot of these YouTubers. So it's just insane it looks like a gimme to them, I think. I think they're like, this looks like an easy win. We're just going to say the same thing, that it's anti-SLAPP, but it's really not, because one thing the government doesn't do when they charge you with a crime is to go out and tell you, you know, you need to be afraid, you can't leave your house, we're going to destroy your reputation. The government wouldn't be doing any of those things.
No.
So.
Right.
What's ironic too is this, that he has tried to get so many restraining orders on people, right? So he really believes that he is above the law. And so anyone that behaves this way, I mean, we need the law to put their foot down on this type of behavior. We need it.
He talks out of both ends of his mouth. You know, he runs to the courts for things that he is doing to them.
Yeah.
And that's not going to play out well. I mean, they have his affidavits in those cases that he, you know, when he tried to, you know, get restraining orders on people, he's basically writing, it's not even close to what he's done to them. And it's still, you know, I mean,
It's
not going to,
I mean, he tried to call the police when he lost his shoe. Yeah.
It's just not going to play well. You can't say I'm allowed to do this, but other people aren't allowed to do it to me.
No.
Yeah.
Right. And the fact that he knows how to get in touch with law enforcement probably better than any of us do, you know,
he knows what to say. I mean, you know, he was listening to Jen and Chris when they were trying to get their restraining order against him, like before the other one was put into play, but he's listening and making fun of it. And it's because he knows what to say in those instances. He could have gotten one. He would have known exactly what to say, but.
Oh, for sure.
That article I sent you guys from like 2024, remember, it was the Boston Magazine, and the article was really focused on him and this case and how he has rebranded himself with this case and all that. But in that article, it talks about how they went to the local court there. Maybe it was in Dayton, I can't remember. And they recognized him immediately as he walked in because he's gone in and got so many restraining orders on people.
Yeah, it's
crazy. Didn't he go to like 2 courts? I think he was trying to get something on Lindsay.
Oh, could be, yeah.
Medfield. The Medfield cops, I think. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, he was. What a life, right? Can you imagine that's your life?
So yeah, you're well known down at the PD. Yeah,
it's crazy that
so embarrassed.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Okay, the coordination continued during 2023. On April 23rd, 2023, Reed falsely told Kearney through an intermediary that certain witnesses had testified to a grand jury that Colin Albert was present at 34 Fairview after O'Keefe arrived, while also stating that she could not send grand jury testimony because it was sealed. That same day, Reed told Kearney that the feds have been involved longer than anyone is likely guessing, even though the federal investigation into O'Keefe's death was not public information. In December 2023, Kearney published audio recovered from O'Keefe's phone that only the Commonwealth, Reed, and Reed's legal team possessed at the time.
Yep.
So what was that audio?
That was the voicemail that Karen's phone left on John's phone of Jen's 911 call. It's the same audio that I think it was August of 2023, Alan Jackson played it for Gretchen Voss when he was meeting with her and Karen. I think it was August of maybe it was 2024.
And I mean that they used that audio to really vilify Jen, remember? Because they were like, listen, she's saying don't come out of the house. And then they would go like,
oh yeah, that's right.
She's saying no one's coming. And she, like they were saying she called Nicole and she was saying all these things under her breath. So they really used that.
And they also used it to say, they also used it to try to say that Jen was sitting in the car the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah. 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 And that was non-public evidence that they shared with him.
Yep.
Right. And she says she's just trying to get the word out, even if it's against court rules.
Think about it if it was, in any of these big murder cases, if the prosecution did that, leaked evidence.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Against the defendant. Like I don't know how like she and Alan Jackson are just like, it's no big deal. It's really no big deal. I don't know what you're being upset about because it's really just no big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. How it's just so funny how it would be a conspiracy if it were the state, but it's not a conspiracy when it's the murder defendant.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, that's just stretch.
Right. They make no sense. They make no, I'm so over these people.
Yeah.
Everything's such a double standard.
Yes.
It's just a double standard, everything.
And there's a hearing tomorrow, right? Is it like at 2?
I think it's at 2. Yes.
That should be fun.
Yeah.
Right? So much fun.
It's because it seems like just a minute when we heard that there was going to be the hearing. Like that hearing seems like it was yesterday.
Yeah, that's the wrongful death. There's a hearing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But I wonder if she'll show up. I wonder what'll happen tomorrow. I mean, will she show up like to save fate? You know what I mean? Like I just wonder. They're going to do something for publicity. It's coming.
Yeah.
She can't stand it. She's so competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep your eye on your feeds because I'm sure we'll hear a little something about it before it happens.
Yeah, and then Monday we'll see if Aidan replies to the subpoena.
That's right. That's the deadline.
Sure is.
He still hasn't even...
Nothing.
There's no appointment of attorneys or anything.
No.
Nothing.
And what's crazy is like if you think about just like going through all these documents and putting together slides, like how much work that is. Imagine how much work it is to go back and get what is being asked for in that subpoena. Like you should be doing that 24 hours a day. You should be all jacked up on Diet Pepsi, never sleeping because it's a ton of work and he's not doing it.
Yeah. And it's surprising that there's no attorney representing that. But I think maybe they all want some kind of fee. And I don't think he wants to pay another fee to them.
So Kate said that same thing. She was like, he's being cheap is what's going on.
He's gonna
but his life is on the line, right?
Yeah. He's gonna say, Judge, don't you know I've got criminal charges pending? I can't give you anything.
I haven't been able to have my golf tournament yet, Judge. I don't have the money.
I need someone to sponsor hole 15.
Right. Only one hole is sponsored so far.
And it was Tom CPU and he hasn't paid me yet.
Wow. I wonder who the sponsor is.
I wonder too. I really do. It's probably Jess Machado, right? Sponsoring your channel.
I don't know about that.
If it was, she probably asked for the money back.
Right. Yep. Anyway, okay. So Reed and Kearney later communicated directly, including through Signal, and exchanged more than 189 calls, totaling more than 40 hours in 2023 alone. Reed and her lawyers also met with Kearney in person to coordinate extrajudicial publications with Reed's litigation and media strategy. After May 3rd, 2023 meeting with Reed and her counsel, Kearney published a video saying O'Keefe was murdered by Brian Albert, Colin Albert, the dog, and, quote, every other single person in that house, which included McCabe and Higgins. And Karen denies this in her motion, right? She's like, oh, no, we just said everybody in the house, so I'm not defaming anybody individually.
It's just a general statement. So
yeah,
really apply to anyone. Just in general.
I'm just gesturing at the house. It's insane.
Lydia, what page are we on?
We are on page 5.
Okay. We were behind.
I know it's hard to see at the bottom. I think one more page.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. After, wait. Kearney later accused McCabe and Brian Albert of involvement in cover-up, called the McCabes, quote, evil, and asserted that millions of people knew they had participated in O'Keefe's murder and cover-up. Reed's counsel then appeared on the courthouse steps and stated that Brian Albert, McCabe, and everyone else in the house had, quote, some level of involvement.
And we've played that so many times, and it still is shocking to me every time I see it. I cannot believe they did that. I really
Why would an attorney do that?
I mean, they put that in there for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Because that's not inside the courtroom. You cannot do that.
Mm-hmm. It's
So,
exactly what they were warned about doing by Gilday the other day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, everybody was warned, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
they have a history of it.
But yeah, and Karen's answer is very confused because she keeps going back to, well, these were in court filings. Yeah, that's great. And we've said that millions of times. You can do that in court filings and you can do that in court, but that's not what you did. You took it outside of court.
Yeah, you cannot stand on the courthouse steps and call 9 people murderers.
Yeah, make allegations like that. And you're talking about an officer of the court, a former prosecutor. Standing doing that. It's shocking. It's shocking.
I mean, if I was David Giannetti and Alan Jackson, I mean, they put things like this in their filings over and over again for a reason. You know, they're calling out those attorneys multiple times.
Yeah. It's stronger every time they do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice to see that recognized finally, since it was never recognized like during the trials.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean, now that you see it, it's hard to understand how Kearney let it go on like that.
Yeah, it's so egregious.
Yeah, it's astounding what she let go on. I'm not trying to dogpile her, but
no, me neither.
I mean, man,
it's shocking.
Yeah,
It would have been a very different outcome if there had been another judge.
Yeah, I mean, I would say 85% of this would have been I mean, all you had to do, I mean, Adam Lally asked for a gag order. She denied it. Like, that is crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, and allowing the entire courtroom to start clapping when a murder defendant walks in.
Crazy. I don't know if she was intimidated, but, you know, I don't know. I don't know what it was, but it was really, especially when you see it now, it's crazy to watch.
Well, and if you watch other trials, this is not allowed. Like, there's a lot of time spent on decorum in the court. And even today I was watching that Robinson hearing, and the judge every morning he starts by talking about courtroom decorum. And, you know, it's just wild to me.
The Adelson judge, he was very, very strict.
He was strict.
And I loved it. It was great.
So great.
Yeah.
I came down on them multiple times about things like that.
Yes.
I told you guys I just watched the Casey Anthony one, and I was taken aback. I was like, wow, that judge was no nonsense.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they were overwhelmed. I mean, you think about Nathan Reed screaming obscenities at the victim witness advocate, like
on the courthouse steps.
On the courthouse steps, as he's coming in with the family, he is screaming obscenities at him. Like I just.
So you know what I always think, Jewel, like about that, and then because I always feel like I dogpile all over Kearney and the court officers and everyone, and then when you just said that, it reminded me. So then she puts the buffer zone up, right?
Yeah.
And I can't remember the cop's name right now. He was Hardiman, maybe, and he was out there every day. You'd see him in all the news and everything, and he really took care of that buffer zone, and they were so on point. I mean, just like Erica Walsh with that stupid shirt on, get out of here, get your shirt off, you know, whatever, yada yada. And then Tom DeRocha goes to feds and lodges a complaint against him. Like, and that guy has to get a lawyer, and that guy has to worry about his career. So I always forget that these people are not normal people.
Right. I mean, I think that's what it was. I think they were, I think the court was almost in shock.
Yes.
What was happening and what are we going to do? Because this is not, I mean, I think it's the only time I've ever seen anything like this.
Right. And who, you know, he's just doing his job, and now all of a sudden he's got to get a lawyer and go defend himself against Tom DeRocha. And so it's just, it's one of those things where I always try to remember that. And it was so frustrating to watch, but.
And even in Delphi, which did get crazy, and there were people taking pictures of the jurors and all that stuff, no one was allowed on the courthouse property. So remember Alan Jackson getting shooed off of the courthouse steps? Like, that was what was happening. People were not allowed to act a fool on the property of the courthouse.
Oh, I mean, here it was like they were tailgating on the courthouse steps.
Yeah, but then they started, you know, filing lawsuits and getting the ACLU involved. Like, they're just very difficult people. They're like that toxic mold that once you get entangled with them, like you're just going to keep doing it. I mean, you see it with them. You can see it. Look at the way Aidan behaves. Look at the way Tom behaves. Like, these are just people I would not want anywhere in my life, anywhere near me.
Right.
No, you can see why people back away, because they're insane. They're insane.
Because who wants that? Yeah. Okay. Reed continuously expressed her approval of the reputational damage caused by Kearney's publications. On September 29th, 2023, Reed messaged Kearney, "Look at what you've done to their reputations and to my jury pool. Chris Albert's business is the next casualty."
That is not going to go over well.
No, the whole time I was reading her response, I kept thinking of the signal message and everything she was saying. I was petitioning the government because of my charges. I just kept thinking of this. And I was so glad they put this in the response, because I kept thinking it is going to be very hard for her to overcome that signal message.
Yes.
That is
laying it out. She is laying it out right there.
Yeah. And it's, you can see that that's the singular goal, right? I mean, especially if you've seen all the messages, you can see that was the singular goal. They're not having long late night romantic conversations about how they're, you know, going to get the government to change their mind. That's not happening.
She did indeed want her charges dismissed, but she wanted them dismissed by doing this, by ruining their reputations, by affecting the jury pool.
Well, and probably likely just having them not testify.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
That's the point of witness intimidation.
Right.
Around the same time, Reed and Kearney became administrators of a Facebook group that became a forum for defamatory and harassing posts about plaintiffs, and Reed posted confidential criminal case information there. The AC also alleges that Reed made egregious defamatory statements during interviews with documentarian Terry Dunn Muir. During her first criminal trial, Reed authorized Muir to record her trial preparation, including interviews with Reed, her attorneys, and her family, as well as conversations among Reed and her counsel. On April 12, 2024, in Reed's presence, her attorney, Alan Jackson, verified to Muir and the production assistants that Reed had told police, "Brian Albert, Colin Albert beat up John. My taillight was cracked when John was pulverized." And Reed did not deny having made those statements. On or about, which kind of, doesn't that kind of block her claim about the date? Because in her motion, she's like, oh, well, that doesn't matter because it happened before. But then here they're saying, well, it actually happened when they were filming in April of 2024 as well. So
it's just such a weird statement too. My taillight was
weird.
cracked when John was pulverized.
Mm-hmm.
That's such an odd way to put
Telltale heart, right?
Yeah.
On or about, it's actually really hard to lie. Like your body doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, right.
On or about April 30th, 2024, Reed told Muir that McCabe, quote, got herself into a bad mess that night and she helped clean it up. That McCabe, quote, knew John was dying and she helped expedite it. And that McCabe was, quote, a first-degree murderer.
I think there's some projection there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
In the same interview, Reed stated that the plaintiffs were being, quote, being federally investigated, that, quote, they know they killed John, and that she could not have sympathy for the witnesses because they're murderers. On June 15, 2024, Reed told Muir that Higgins, Brian Albert, and Colin Albert had motives to kill O'Keefe and suggested that O'Keefe could have been struck during an escalating altercation inside 34 Fairview. On June 22nd, 2024, Reed stated that she knew Higgins had a role in helping kill O'Keefe, helping him get into the snow, and helping frame Reed, while also stating that Brian Albert and Colin Albert would have, quote, enjoyed roughing John up. When Muir raised the possibility that Reed could be sued for making such strong statements about Colin Albert, Reed responded that if Colin could prove that she was lying and that the statements were defamatory, he could sue her.
And she's talking about a kid. She's talking about a kid.
Good.
I mean, wow.
And people that she's saying she didn't really know, she's claiming she would know that they would have enjoyed roughing John up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
It's like the stupidest statement.
It's
Right.
so dumb.
It is such a bizarre statement to
I
make.
cannot with her. Yeah, I just can't with her. It's
And
like she always has this dramatic movie running in her mind,
Yes.
and it's a stupid dramatic movie, like the dumbest dramatic
Yeah.
I
movie.
mean, how does she know what Colin and Brian would enjoy?
Right,
What are you
exactly.
talking
Yeah,
about?
that's a great
Because
question.
they
I
wear
imagine
hoodie
that
sweatshirts. They wear
Right.
hoodies.
They wear hoodies.
Therefore,
Yeah.
they are
Right.
gangsters. They want to rough people up.
They would enjoy that, and Higgins would enjoy putting him in the snow.
Yeah.
And I like the Murder on the Orient Express part of it, where she's envisioning this scene in a rail car, and Colin's like, you know what? I walked in John's yard one time and he's mad at me. And Higgins is like, you know what? She kissed me. And then Brian Albert's like, I'm a Boston cop and I like to fight. And then we just all agree, let's just kill this guy.
And Jen is saying,
movie
go
ever.
ahead. Yeah, Jen's like, go get them, boys. I'll cover it up.
It's like an 11-year-old wrote it, right?
Yeah,
In their adolescence.
Did you guys see that comedian
Yes.
that was
Yeah.
going around on
Yeah.
Twitter?
That's right. Yeah, she
Yes.
was great. She
I
got
think
a
she
lot.
Called it. She really called it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people. That got pretty popular.
I mean, and people always forget, right? When we're always talking about this, you have to remember there's 4 other people in the house that are watching all this go on.
Right, Nicole Albert's like making brownies, cleaning up, and walking.
Aaron Levinson, Julie Nagel,
Right.
Brian Albert Jr., Caitlin Albert, they're all just like, oh God, just let them be.
They're just murdering
They're
somebody
just doing
again.
their thing.
Well, and the story is both like they planned it, right? Because they were in the bar, practice fighting, and Higgins called him out, was like, come to the house. But also if they planned it, they planned to jump him basically without knowing Karen wasn't going to come into the house as well.
That's very
And right in front of a bunch of people who could potentially be like, nah, this is not cool. Like,
I'm just here for the birthday party.
I'm just here
I just wanted cake.
yeah, the cupcakes. And
I just thought it was a birthday party.
Guys, can you just hold on for a minute? We just blew out the birthday cake.
I mean,
I want to get my
imagine. Like,
and their son who has like social anxiety, like, you know what, we're gonna let's
make it even
murder
worse.
this guy.
Yeah. Let's make him really hate his birthday. How about
It
that?
makes
On
no
top of
sense.
everything else.
And what makes me think Karen, I mean, we know for so many different other reasons that Karen is fully aware at this point of what actually occurred that night when she reversed at 74.5% throttle. But if she actually believed that John was beat up in that house the moment he walked in, where is her survivor's guilt? Where is her, like, I mean, if my husband, if I ditched my husband, I was like, it's a blizzard's coming in, and he went into a house to make sure it was okay, even though we were just hanging out with that same group of people. And I ditched him there. And I believe that he was killed by these people.
Right.
And that I was also supposed to walk into that house. I mean, it would be a whole other ball game. It would be like, I almost died too. And what if I had gone in that house? What if I had gone in there? Like, would I have saved his life? Would it have been different? You know, you see none of that.
That's
a
one
good
of the
point.
things that I kept thinking about when I was reading the Voss notes, or the interview that just came out in the FOIA dump.
Mm-hmm.
She never once talks about, like, how sad she is that John is gone, or like she can't believe that this happened to him. Like,
she never has.
She does not. And this was early on. This was still 2023. This wasn't that far removed. Yeah, this was not that far removed from the event, and she still is not talking about John. Not in that way.
She's mad at him, right? She's mad he's a drinker. I mean, she makes all these comments, you know, in that Vanity Fair article too. Like, he drank a lot. He wanted to hang out with these people. He, you know, he would get stressed with the kids, and it's just him.
A lot of projection again, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely.
Drinking a lot, stressed with the kids. I mean, that's a lot of projection.
Yep.
This comment almost sent me over the edge. So if Brian Higgins' motive was he had to have Queen Karen all for himself, then Lola asks, why on earth frame her when she's finally available?
Yep.
Well, I've heard it said in a couple different ways like that too, right? It's like, there's nothing like, you know, framing the woman that you killed their significant other over so you could be with them. Like,
so for the conjugal visits, Lola.
That's what I was going to say. You can go visit her in prison?
Yeah. They're better than anything, apparently.
Brian Higgins is a little smarter than that.
I'm so over this conspiracy culture. I am so over it.
So bad. And it gets worse. Like, for a little while, it seemed like it was better. Now they're crazier than they were to start with.
They're freaking insane.
Oh my gosh.
And they're not only that, they're eating each other now, which is even more insane to us.
Yeah. Yes. And also kind of satisfying. I mean, you didn't think those were relationships like built on a foundation of granite or anything.
Right.
No, and I think we're on page 6. We're getting nowhere, but it does go to show the type of personalities that really attach themselves to this kind of sensationalized media and this conspiracy narrative. A lot of times you will see these dopamine seeker type personalities, people who might have addiction issues, things like that. No shaming addictive personalities and stuff, but the hits are very quick with these dopamine tabloid sensationalism type content. And I think that's why we see a lot of these people now eating their own, right? It's like there constantly has to be some sort of drama going on. And when there is a lot
of drama.
Yeah. So it's not surprising.
Good point. Okay. Bottom of page 6.
We're never getting through this.
I know. It's going to be next year. Plaintiffs allege that Reed made those statements knowing they were false and knowing plaintiffs had nothing to do with O'Keefe's death. Reed's defamatory statements did not stop there. During her 2025 retrial, Reed told reporters that McCabe's testimony was, quote, another instance of perjury, and that McCabe was, quote, lying. Reed knew those statements were false. During the retrial, the prosecution presented footage in which Reed acknowledged the possibility that she had run over or clipped O'Keefe, and that she might have some culpability as a result. Reed later stated that O'Keefe entered 34 Fairview and, quote, met his demise, and that, quote, someone in that house killed John O'Keefe, referring to plaintiffs. The harm to plaintiffs was severe and sustained. I would say is severe and sustained. Every day since April 18, 2023, plaintiffs and their families have been harassed and tormented because of Reed and Kearney's unlawful conspiracy. Plaintiffs have become prisoners in their own communities, besieged by people who accepted Reed and Kearney's lies that the plaintiffs are murderers. And I mean, as we saw with Uri, outside of their communities as well.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah, it's really sad. Plaintiffs have faced physical confrontations and harassment at their homes, businesses, and children's activities, sustained a barrage of online abuse, and were harassed while appearing in court as witnesses. The harassment became so extreme that a criminal trial judge ordered a courthouse buffer zone while Kearney and his followers chanted "cop killers" as plaintiffs walked by. The AC's claims rest on allegations that Reed directly and through Kearney falsely accused plaintiffs of murdering O'Keefe and participating in a conspiracy to murder him and cover up his death. Plaintiffs allege those statements were defamatory per se because they accused plaintiffs of heinous criminal conduct and were negligently, knowingly, or with reckless regard for the truth. Reed's motion does not answer these allegations as pleaded in the AC. The motion lists only a handful of Reed's statements from the earlier pleading and seeks dismissal based on court count numbers and paragraph citations that do not match the AC. That is never not going to be funny.
Just unreal. I mean, that is unreal.
It's so crazy. It's like turning in a paper on Isaac Newton when you're in English class. It's very weird.
Have they fixed it? Did they fix it? Do we know?
No, that's what all those emails are about. And they were like, yeah, we'll just change it. That's all it is. And yeah, they just didn't even do that much.
They kept calling it cosmetic, and it's not cosmetic. It's
defective.
Right. Defective. Yes. That's the word I was trying to think of. I kept trying to say defunded for some reason.
Gosh, Karen, that wouldn't show you're defective.
but and I know that they have to, regard each other collegially and all of that. But what if they hadn't said anything? What
they
if
they were not obligated to? If you read those emails, they were not obligated to tell them. So
that was like a huge gift.
Yes.
And they bit the hand that fed them.
Yeah, they should have taken it, and instead they did all this back and forth, said that the witness's attorney was threatening them, which was not the case. He was just saying, look, if you don't fix it, this is our move. He was warning them, like, this is our move. This is what we're going to do.
Gift.
And they acted like it was a threat. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, I don't know, just human nature is going to take over and be like, fine, I'm not going to tell you next time you do it wrong, right?
Yeah.
Insane. Let's see. Okay.
Did you already read this page?
Oh, I'm on page 8.
Oh, I was confused. Sorry.
I'm reading from my copy because it's
sorry.
Sorry.
I'm trying to read with you. So I'm like, where am I?
I don't know how you can even see it. It's so small.
No, that's fine.
Most significantly, although the AC alleges for the first time Reed's direct statements to Muir in paragraphs 91 through 99, Reed's motion does not include those statements in its description of the defamatory statements at issue and does not argue why those allegations fail under Rule 12b-6 or the anti-SLAPP statute. The omission is a dispositive concession and confirms that the motion should be denied, which is pretty darn interesting because those are some very damning statements.
Mm-hmm.
Argument. Reed's special motion to dismiss pursuant to blah, blah, blah must be denied. The anti-SLAPP special motion to dismiss is a strong medicine. That's from the Bristol case. Offering, quote, powerful procedural protections, the statute is only to be, quote, employed in a limited context. Because of its limited nature, the Supreme Judicial Court recently returned to the, quote, necessarily narrow and strict construction outlined in Duracraft, requiring courts to proceed cautiously when considering anti-SLAPP special motions to dismiss. Throughout its analysis, the court shall consider pleadings and supporting and opposing affidavits, stating the facts upon which the liability or defense is based. The standard of review is fundamentally different from a Rule 12 motion because it incorporates additional fact-finding beyond the facts alleged in the pleadings. For the special motion to dismiss to survive the first stage of the court's analysis, Reed, quote, must show that the challenge count has no substantial basis in conduct other than or in addition to her alleged petitioning activity. If she cannot make this requisite threshold showing, the special motion to dismiss is denied. If the threshold showing is made, the second stage of analysis follows. Courts cannot parse the factual allegations underlying each claim to determine whether a portion of the plaintiff's cause of action could be construed as being based on Reed's petitioning alone. And that's why I didn't understand why she included so many of the factual allegations, because that was in the filings from the very beginning, that those facts do not have to be litigated in order for the decision to be made. So why did they put them all in there?
I don't know. Did you see that her exhibits? It's almost 2,000 pages. They did the same thing they did in the federal case. It's almost 2,000 pages of testimony. So instead of just including the part where they're saying, whatever they're saying that these witnesses said, right, they included the whole thing. And if I were a judge, I would lose my mind. You expect me to read 2,000 pages and find in here what you're trying to say? Like that's
a huge
it's on purpose. They're doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Right. So that it looks like it looks voluminous. That's kind of, I think they're trying to, but judges aren't stupid. They're not FKR. You know what I mean?
Right.
These people on Twitter, they're not going to fall for it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we're going to skip some of the legalese a little bit. Skip ahead.
There is one under B, just,
under B.
Yeah. It's the first sentence. It's a really great sentence that the AC alleges that Reed engaged that one. So it's on page 11.
Okay.
It's the first sentence of that because it's a great sentence.
Okay. B. The AC alleges that Reed engaged in non-petitioning activity and Reed fails to demonstrate otherwise. Fundamentally, Reed's argument rests on the false premise that a criminal defendant may falsely accuse others of murder and surreptitiously conspire to do so with impunity by later arguing that it was all petitioning activity. Of course.
Yeah, that really nails it.
It really does. It really does.
Yep.
Of course, Reed is incorrect. That's so great.
Every defendant would do this. Every
Yeah.
would do this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
She wasn't even allowed to bring Colin into the second criminal trial,
which
so
is really a big point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, the judge already said this is not based in. It doesn't have a factual basis.
Right. There's already a judge that has ruled at least partially on this kind of. I mean, this argument.
I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't she say even Brian made it very
narrowly?
Very narrowly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very narrowly made.
Only because they were there. If I remember correctly, she said it's only because they were actually there in the house at that time that she allowed them to be included. If I'm remembering correctly, somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
Right.
Yeah, but she said it was like barely.
Right. Because and you can tell, right? Everyone here can tell if y'all haven't read Aidan Kearney's, whatever his, evidence of why he blamed these people for murder. There is no evidence. There's nothing.
There's gossip. There's accusations. There's no evidence. I don't think they
butt
understand.
dial or not, like this is, it's preposterous.
Yeah.
Preposterous.
It is so much fun to ask the supporters what they would put in the probable cause affidavit.
Right.
Because if you really think you can arrest someone based on butt dials and upgrading their phone, like you are, wow.
Right.
And a Jurassic Park
Right.
overlay of a dog bite on
Right.
someone's arm.
Or the fact that Brian Higgins may or may not own a duffel bag.
I mean, you might go to jail for that.
Yeah, that's one of the questions that I saw that on Twitter today. I can't remember who said that. Oh gosh, I wish I could remember.
Really bad, the donuts.
Asking who, one of the questions they would want to ask him was, what was in the duffel bag?
Chloe. Duh.
Chloe. I mean,
Wow.
Even though we just saw the other day the pictures of Chloe
Right.
being rehomed in Vermont. We saw, so we all know now Chloe is alive.
right.
'Cause
And we
saw-
also know that Higgins was coming home from a trip.
Right.
Like,
Right.
that's
Who
like
doesn't-
asking
that's
someone.
like an overnight bag. I mean, is that wild that it's an overnight bag?
And I
Or
think
the
we-
demand that
we-
they carry a
we saw a
purse.
video with the bag, and it's really a small bag.
No. Karen very dramatically describes the
She loves to describe
large and
that,
heavy object in her filing.
Mhm.
I still don't understand why she takes so much issue with the fact that he said it was administrative work. It's almost like, like she's saying that there's a specific definition for that. He had to move his cars. It was administratively, that's what he was asked to do, to make sure
Exactly.
his car was in the right place. So
Yeah, it's
I
not
don't-
work.
I don't get why she
I
says
never got that either. Who cares what he said? Why did
He's just giving, He's just giving like a general description.
Right.
right.
I want to do administrative work. That's just
Right.
a very blanket description of what he was doing.
Well, and it's how police officers distinguish like investigative work and beat work from the stuff they have to do when they're back at the office, lady.
Right.
Well,
That's why
and not
you're a
to
retired
mention,
cop.
she refers to things very oddly, like in that Voss interview. She talks about how her and John are not married and it's not her biological children. And in the way of describing that, she just calls it, we weren't in a relationship de facto.
Right.
Yeah,
Who
she does.
says that?
Right.
She
The person
speaks
that
very
uses the,
oddly.
like,
It's-
She was
Yeah.
just trying to
I know, she
garner a
talks like she's in
reaction.
like Bridgerton or something. It's so bizarre though, the way she talks.
she really
Well,
does.
So weird.
But not even that, because I can understand Bridgerton. This is
Right,
like
I
she's
can
from
understand
Mars. This is like I'm trying to understand a Martian and what
Yeah.
what
Yeah. That's so weird.
Sometimes she's like in a reality show. Sometimes she's in like what is that old? I just got out of my head. The old with
the
top
MTD?
show.
Soap operas.
Well, yeah, soap opera, but there's one Dragnet. She talks
yeah,
about
Dragnet.
Dragnet. You know what I mean? Like
Dragnet.
she's all over the place.
And yeah, the way she, I have no memory. There's no memory of hit. Like what?
I think she
And-
does watch or she at least did
She
watch
watches
a lot
weird
of old timey shows.
Yes,
Because
well,
like the Dawn at the Ponderosa.
The Dawn at the Ponderosa.
That's like a
every
really
time.
Yeah, that's like a super old reference to like
Yeah.
I had to like look it up.
Yeah,
because
it's like she's 90.
well, she said she mostly hung out with her mom and dad.
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
and they listened to like old music. So
Yeah, and they're older. So Karen is, I think, about my age, maybe a year or two younger, but her parents are a lot older than
they're
mine.
in their 70s. It reminds me
Yeah.
of like a modern version of Grey Gardens, like this weird relationship this kid has with her.
Like you're being raised by your
parent,
grandparents.
and they're not even in like the right decade, or like they're just
Yeah, it's
living in
very-
this little bubble world.
Very odd. Very, very. The whole thing is just odd.
But the language is so tortured. It's like Resident Alien. Remember when he was trying to be a human and he was like saying things that he thought humans would say? And she's like, I wanted to garner a reaction. It's like, who talks like that?
I will say I love old shows. Like all of them.
Oh,
I
I
was
do too.
raised on them and I do not say things like
Don't.
relationship
yeah.
de facto.
No.
Yeah, I used to watch like I Love Lucy and Dick Van Dyke Show with my dad,
Yes.
Yes.
but I didn't
Yeah.
pick up any language from.
Yeah, they
No.
didn't talk like aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or when she talks about her taillight, how did it come to be there? Well, you left it there after you hit him. Like, I don't, but the way she says it, it's just like, not like, how did my taillight get there? How did it come to be there? Like, that's just a weird way.
And it's exactly like when Alan Jackson in A Court of Law said, in the shank of the evening.
Yeah.
Like, that's normal.
Right. Someone wrote on Twitter the other day that it's like she's trying to sound very smart and she ends up sounding very dumb.
She sounds like very socially awkward.
Yes.
Very awkward.
Yeah.
Very, very awkward. Like, just talk normal. Just speak normally.
Hey, I'm a Bonanza fan.
Okay, I'm going to skip one legal paragraph. Moreover, the AC expansively alleges that Reed pursued a course of conduct that did not seek redress from any governmental authority, but rather harassed, intimidated, and defamed private individuals in the service of Reed's personal interests. Simply put, Reed's years-long campaign to defame and intimidate witnesses in the prosecution against her, which included defamatory statements to a documentarian and others, her use of Kearney and others to launch defamatory attacks against the plaintiffs, and her conspiracy to harass and intimidate the plaintiffs cannot constitute petitioning activity. I'm about to lose my voice. Reed ignores the AC and wrongly claims that the plaintiffs allege only 6 instances of defamatory conduct, all of which 6. I didn't catch that the first time I read it. All of which she argues constitute petitioning activity. In doing so, Reed not only fails to establish that those 6 allegations constitute petitioning activity, but completely fails to make the requisite threshold showing that count 1 relies exclusively on that conduct. Reed would have this court believe that count 1 is based solely on 1, Reed's initial false report to law enforcement that Brian and Colin Albert beat up O'Keefe. 2, Reed's false statements in a court filing. 3, Reed's subsequent transmission of that filing to Kearney. 4, Reed's mischaracterization of grand jury testimony to Kearney. 5, Reed's extrajudicial statement that McCabe committed perjury. And 6, Reed's extrajudicial post-verdict statement during a podcast that the plaintiffs killed O'Keefe.
And that is all she addresses.
That's
she addresses in hers.
That's quite the summary, because her document is so long that, like, seeing that in a bulleted list really clears it up for you that she's just cherry picking what she thinks can be described as petitioning activity.
This number 6, I don't understand how she gets past this. I don't. We'll read more about it. I'll wait. I'll just wait till we get there. Hopefully, we get there.
I'm gonna read faster. Okay. Even a cursory review of the AC demonstrates that her conduct extended far beyond those cherry-picked examples. In a recorded conversation with the documentarian, Reed stated that McCabe was a, quote, first-degree murderer. The plaintiffs, quote, know they murdered O'Keefe, and the plaintiffs were, quote, murderers. Reed does not address... I know. Reed does not address these allegations at all, nor could she establish that these statements constitute petitioning activity, where she made them to a documentarian with no expectation that the statements would be transmitted to a governmental body or released in a manner that could plausibly implicate a governmental proceeding. She didn't know they'd be released at all, because as you know about the documentary process, you don't know what's going to make it.
Right.
I mean, I don't think there's any question on why she didn't address any of these. Like, what are you gonna say?
Good point.
What are you gonna say?
Yep.
Likewise, Reed utterly fails to reckon with the extensive allegations detailing her conspiracy to use defamation as a tool to intimidate and harass the plaintiffs. The AC alleges that Reed conspired with Kearney to publish defamatory material in part for the purpose of intimidating and harassing the plaintiffs and their families. Reed makes no effort to justify this conduct, some of which was criminal. Shots fired. As petitioning activity, indeed, conspiring to defame witnesses in order to intimidate them and jury tamper is not petitioning activity because such criminal acts target private individuals and are not undertaken to reach governmental bodies. So here's where she gets tied like an albatross to what Aidan is doing. The criminal activity of jury tampering.
My jury. Remember, she said that. Look at what you're doing to my jury pool.
Good point. And right on time, Jenny Reed herself.
Oh,
the impact of
I haven't read all this yet.
criminal conduct when she messaged him, look at what you've done to the reputations and to my jury pool. To now suggest that destroying a witness's reputation and tainting a jury pool is petitioning activity is preposterous.
That's insane.
Insane.
That's just, she thinks that if she thinks the judge is going to okay that and give the green flag for everyone to go try to taint their jury pools when they are facing charges, she's lost her mind.
And imagine
you gotta read this footnote, Lydia. It is
I'm going
amazing.
to. But the audacity to say that to a judge whose entire job is to protect the process to which you are being subjected right now.
Exactly.
It's insane.
It is.
Footnote, we love the footnotes. Massachusetts courts have already found that Kearney's conduct, which the AC alleges he jointly undertook with Reed, was a likely criminal. For example, in denying Kearney's attempt to vacate a no-contact order in November 2023, Judge Krupp explained, in pursuit of his performative journalism and personal brand, Kearney has berated witnesses in the Reed case, badgered them, pressured them to change their testimony. Krupp found that Kearney's actions demonstrate an intent to influence and pressure the witnesses to alter their testimony about the Reed case in violation of statute.
Russ Trial posted that, I think it was about 3 weeks ago, posted that filing on Twitter. And I saved it because there's so much in that. That's a keeper.
I'm going to have to go back and read that one. It's been a long time.
Very good. Yeah.
So this was when they went to get the order, right?
When he tried to remove the no contact order, and Krupp denied it, and this was one of his reasons.
So remember when we had talked a bunch of times, and I was like, "Oh, we got to do that Doolin."
Yes.
Motion.
Yes.
I think this is what I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
Maybe so.
I think because I reread Doolin's just a little bit ago, and I was like, it's good, but I was like, I don't remember. Now that I'm seeing this, I think this was the one where Krupp went. I mean, he just said, he
laid it out.
It's witness intimidation.
Yes.
Like, bam, over. I mean, this is a judge, guys.
Yeah.
This is a judge.
Right. And for both of these people to act like this is petitioning activity and ignore the fact that there was probable cause to indict him is bold.
Yeah.
So, how courts love to rely on other courts, right? Like it's wild.
Right.
Reed's failure to demonstrate that the AC relies on petitioning activity alone is dispositive, but even the allegations she does address are either not alleged as defamation or do not constitute petitioning activity. First, Reed's extrajudicial defamatory statement that McCabe committed perjury is not petitioning activity. She did not direct this statement to a governmental body, nor did she seek any relief in connection with her false accusation. She did not specify which testimony she purportedly believed to be false, nor presented any information to suggest that it was false. Rather, she made a bald, blanket, defamatory statement that could not obtain redress from the government. Second, Reed's extrajudicial post-verdict appearance on a podcast during which she defamed the plaintiffs cannot reasonably be understood as petitioning activity. There is simply no objective plausible nexus between her defamatory conduct and any redress being sought from the government.
This is what I wanted to talk about. I laughed so hard when I read this in her response.
It's amazing.
It's hilarious because
amazing.
she's trying to claim that she went on
Rotten Mango.
Right, Rotten Mango, post verdict, to petition the judge or anyone else that may be making a decision in the O'Keefe wrongful death case, to basically to understand that they're wrong, right? And I'm just laughing. I was laughing so hard because I'm thinking, sure. The judge is seriously, like, at the end of the day, putting his feet up on his lounge chair and saying, "Let me put on my favorite mukbang." Exactly. And watch when she interviews Karen Reed and see what information I can find, and maybe I should rule in her favor.
His algorithm is filled with mukbangers,
right? And everything they do, right, is strategic. And it's like that show, as we know, has a high percentage of a certain age range,
yes,
which is much younger than one would find likely in a judge.
Well, she even put, I think it was her. Let me see. I don't think the footnote's here. I think it was her. Yes. They put in one of the footnotes, like the statistics of, like, the viewers and all of that. It looked like a shout out to Rotten Mango.
It did. It looked like a marketing. It was like that exchange promos. You know how a podcast would be like, "Have you listened to my favorite podcast? Blah blah blah."
It was just, it's like the stretchiest stretch of all stretches. Like, I really could not believe what they were saying in that.
Well, isn't she also claiming that when she was saying Jen committed perjury, it was when she told the FBI she was her sister at her house?
Yes, because they didn't identify themselves and she thought they were salesmen.
But, like, what are you talking about? Like, she did, like, what?
She ran out like a crazy person. Do you remember how she looked?
Oh yeah, she ran out.
Another day, another lie,
another instance of perjury.
Another day, another instance of perjury.
And what are the other instances? Like, shouldn't she have to list those?
I think this was her only one. That was her only example.
Yeah,
right.
But the media sat there and they wanted every soundbite Karen Reed would give them. Like, they played right into it. It was really kind of sick when you think
You have to find that video. It's so funny.
I have
when
it.
She comes like bombing out.
I can post
I know,
it.
when she's just like galloping out there like a rhinoceros.
Wide-eyed. Like,
it's almost as funny as when Hank asked for her parents' phones when she went out that day. She was like,
with her, and she had her umbrella and she's shaking her umbrella.
Sometimes when I wish that I was writing the footnotes, that's what I was doing when I was reading this. And I was like, my footnote would say, if you wanted to petition the government, why did you choose the Mukbang podcast or secret friend Aidan Kearney when you were already talking to Adam Deitch?
Right.
Like, that's
those are great deposition questions, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's a good question.
Do you guys remember the trailer to that too, where she was just sucking from a straw?
Yes.
That is petitioning the
petitioning
government. Tuesday. What is wrong with you, Tuesday? That is petitioning activity.
Right.
You would not wear that shirt to petition the government. There's no way.
No, you'd wear your End the Vietnam War.
They made me
shirt.
put on my Javianas. I don't even know what a Javiana is, by the way. What is
flip flop?
It's a flip flop. I like them.
Yeah.
I buy them, but whatever.
They're the most comfortable flip flops ever.
They are very
And
comfortable.
The mango lady's like, not the Javianas.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The fake dramatic podcaster reaction.
What I really think it was is that she paid her. She was the only one that was willing to pay her.
Right.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know, of course. I've not seen anything, but
Well, but based on what Megyn Kelly said,
Yeah.
that's what she was doing. She was going around demanding large sums of money for people to be able to talk to her, which
What did Megyn Kelly say?
that
No,
would make a
no.
great That would make a great footnote. While I'm
What did Megyn Kelly say?
She said that she asked her
for $100,000.
Wait,
right?
$100,000.
No, she said
it was like 10 or 15.
She said it was in the
Was it 5 figures? I thought it was 6
I have the
figures.
clip.
We'll have to watch it.
Yeah. But it was something outrageous and Megyn Kelly made a point. She's like, I don't know how these people are interviewing her because the ethical standard of interviewing people is not through payment like that.
And didn't Megyn Kelly even ask about Dateline because she had already talked to Dateline at that point? And Megyn Kelly mentioned some other outlet, and she was like, I don't understand how she's talking to these people if what she's doing is asking for these large sums of money.
Yeah, and they're not supposed to be paying. So she was a little confused, but I mean, who knows?
So would the Today Show have paid her?
Yeah, I mean, a YouTuber, a mukbanger doesn't have that standard, right? They can.
Right. She's not a journalist. Yep.
Then would the Today Show have paid her?
Well, I think that's what Megyn Kelly was asking.
Okay.
I think.
But that was
no. The Today Show was after that.
Right. But I'm saying Megyn Kelly was like, I've seen her on other programs. She's asking for money. How did that happen?
In regard to the Today Show, though, I feel like they really wanted that interview right after the whole Proctor stuff came out. And it really did backfire on her big time. But
it did.
Yeah, that was to her benefit. She probably, I don't think they would pay her. And I wouldn't asking for anything because, she was trying to benefit herself with that.
I forgot that's when the Proctor stuff came out.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that was timed. Okay. The court should not consider Reed's post hoc rationalization offered for the first time in response to this lawsuit at this stage of the proceedings. Her unsupported subjective rationale that she intended to keep her defense publicized is irrelevant. What is relevant is whether she engaged in petitioning activities alone. And let me read the footnote. Plaintiffs do not contend that Reed's leaking of non-public information to Kearney and misuse of court filings is itself defamation, but rather that such acts were in furtherance of their conspiracy in a course of conduct that included defamation, harassment, and intimidation. The court need not determine whether such conduct constitutes petitioning activity because the plaintiffs have not alleged that conduct to be defamation. And while Reed's statement to investigators concerning Colin and Brian Albert would not be actionable, the remainder of her conduct is. In sum, although the complaint does include allegations about petitioning activity, each count also includes allegations about activity falling outside that term's generous definition. Accordingly, the anti-SLAPP motion was correctly denied.
There you go.
Yep. She claims that she intended to convince the O'Keefe family that it had sued the wrong party and should drop its suit.
Mm-hmm.
Sound familiar?
Yeah.
However, the AC alleges a course of conduct directed by Reed long before the O'Keefe family sued Reed for wrongful death in 2024, which is the chronological problems that this team has are wild. Like
timeline problems, like we've always said.
Yeah, why is time not linear in their world? I don't understand it. Moreover, the O'Keefe family is not a governmental body. Sorry if that was a shock to anybody. And Reed fails to cite a single case where a defendant urging a private litigant to drop pending tort claims constitutes petitioning the government. That is, of course, because no such case exists. Reed also claims she enlisted Kearney's help in part to publicize materials so that the public at large would understand that she had been framed. But these admissions demonstrate she was not engaged in petitioning at all. The intended recipient of such information was not the government, but a segment of an online audience.
Are we on a different page?
We are on page 15. Sorry. I know
I think
it's hard to see the page numbers.
No, I think the page on the screen is wrong.
Yeah, it is. Go
there. We switch?
There we go. Yeah. The case, these are my favorite, is when the case law that they cite doesn't match.
It's wild, right?
I know. I mean, all you have to do is read. Like, you just have to
I mean,
read.
right. Obviously, I'm not an attorney. I don't know the case law, but
Me
I read
neither.
this and I'm like, what were they trying to say? Like, why did they just they have like a little bowl they just pull like
Right. Or she
saw
typed
out
it
of
into
and just throw it
Facebook.
in?
Yeah. Who knows? The Reed relies on this case to argue that her speech and advocacy were similar to those of environmental activists, raising awareness about pollution caused by the catastrophic Deepwater Horizon oil spill, just like the Vietnam War. In Cardno, the corporate plaintiff alleged that 2 environmental activists had defamed it by authoring 4 paragraphs in a longer article published by the Huffington Post. By the time the article was published, the authors had been involved in public activism concerning the environmental impacts of the spill for 3 years. The challenged paragraphs described the plaintiff's misleading assessments of the extent of the environmental damage caused by the oil spill. The central issue in this case was not whether the article constituted petitioning activity, but whether the authors were entitled to anti-SLAPP protection where the article did not address a grievance personal to them. Not surprisingly, the SJC concluded the fact that the authors did not seek personal redress was not dispositive of the issue where they were engaged in classic petitioning and had an independent interest in the cause that they sought to vindicate. The SJC observed that the First Amendment had never been confined to petitions seeking to redress grievances that are either purely personal or purely public in nature, which is so interesting, like for every single case that's open right now. She ignores the central holding of Cardno. Instead, she paints her non-petitioning, self-interested defamation campaign against private lay witnesses as similar to the Cardno activists' long-standing lobbying campaign that was directed at the government. In this way, she glosses over Cardno's observation that the 4 paragraphs at issue were only one part of a comprehensive series of actions taken to petition the government. The scope of these activities was central to the court's petitioning analysis. And then it cites something from that case, which we will skip. By contrast, Reed made no comparable effort to influence governmental bodies. Her conduct included covert communications with private citizens, publication of personal identifying information, and the coordination of harassing voicemails, confrontations, and stalking. The conduct bears no resemblance to the public advocacy at issue in Cardno, nor does Cardno support protection for a multi-year campaign that sought to intimidate witnesses, suppress testimony, and tamper with the jury pool. But she continually does this. It's like protesting the Vietnam War. It's like saving the baby seals. It's not. It's a drunk lady.
Did they call her a stalker? Did they say stalking? That was.
Yeah. They said stalking.
They said stalking somewhere.
Hilarious. That was from her signal messages.
It is. It's stalking.
I mean, she was stalking.
I mean, she was oh, for sure. She was hunting them, really.
Right. Can you get a picture of that cow's bar or whatever?
I love that they said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she does this with everything. She thinks she can pick and choose and piecemeal things together to make them work, but that's not how this works.
No,
like that's just not how it works.
But you know what it's like you can see the technique here, and it's the Alan Jackson technique of find that one thing on somebody's phone and you go right for that. You ignore everything else and you go right for that one little thing and you misinterpret it, skew it, put it out to the public. That's what she's doing.
That worked with the criminal trial. It's obvious it's not working with civil.
Yeah.
Hope not.
It's interesting to kind of learn about the civil process, right? After just watching criminal trials. Okay, so there's a little bit of legal stuff. I'm now down at the bottom of 17.
I think we're on the wrong page on the screen.
Yeah, go to 17. There we go.
Who is turning these pages?
Sorry, I just did.
No, it's me. It's me. What
go
page
back to 17.
17. my 17 or yours?
Oh, actually, it looks like my 17 is your 18. Weird.
Okay.
Weird. That might be part of the problem.
No, I'm listening and I zone out, so it's my fault.
Oh, well, thanks for that rave review of my reading.
No, it's because your voice is so soothing. I'm just listening.
To put it simply, the plaintiffs played no role in the O'Keefe's death. They have never been identified by any law enforcement agency as suspects because there's never been any evidence of their involvement. See the declarations, and then he lists the plaintiffs. They've never been arrested or charged in connection with O'Keefe's death.
Should we read, or do you want to wait until the end? Should we read Jen's statement here, or should we just wait?
I think we should.
Yeah, we should read those.
It's really good.
Is it in there?
Yes. Do we have it?
We have it.
I do not have it.
Okay, I have it. I have it.
Read it. Oh, you have it on paper.
I do. So good. I have it on paper. You want me to read it?
Yes.
Yes.
Please. All right. Declaration of Jennifer McCabe in support of opposition to motion to dismiss. I, Jennifer McCabe, on oath, hereby depose and state as follows. I am a plaintiff in the above captioned action. I have personal knowledge of all things stated herein. On the evening of January 28th, 2022, I was with friends and family at a restaurant and bar located in Canton, Massachusetts called the Waterfall Bar and Grill. Towards the end of the night, John O'Keefe and his girlfriend, defendant Karen Reed, came to the waterfall and socialized with my friends and family. As the waterfall was closing, my brother-in-law, Brian Albert, invited all of us to his home at 34 Fairview Road in Canton to watch him murder him. Sorry, just joking. After Officer O'Keefe left the waterfall, he texted me asking for the Albert's address, and I called him to give him the address. I understand that Mrs. Reed drove with Officer O'Keefe to 34 Fairview. I never saw either Miss Reed or Officer O'Keefe enter the home of 34 Fairview that night. Early in the morning of January 29th, 2022, I received a phone call from Officer O'Keefe's niece, who then put Miss Reed on the phone. Miss Reed was hysterical and told me that she had left Officer O'Keefe at the waterfall following a fight that the two had had, and that he had never come home. Miss Reed also told me that she had a cracked taillight on her vehicle. I told Miss Reed that I saw her leaving the waterfall with Officer O'Keefe and subsequently saw the two outside of 34 Fairview in Miss Reed's vehicle. I further told Miss Reed that they did not come into the home at 34 Fairview. Shortly after that phone call, Mrs. Reed drove to my house unexpectedly. Along with Carrie Roberts, we drove back to Officer O'Keefe's home to drop off Miss Reed's car and to make sure that Officer O'Keefe was not there. While we were driving back to Officer O'Keefe's home, Miss Reed stated, "Could I have hit him? Did I hit him?" Miss Reed also pointed her cracked tail out to me and Carrie Roberts in the driveway at Officer O'Keefe's home. Miss Reed immediately noticed Officer O'Keefe in the snow when she, Miss Roberts, and I arrived at 34 Fairview that morning. After Officer O'Keefe had been found in the snow outside of 34 Fairview, I heard Miss Reed state to a first responder, "I hit him, I hit him, I hit him." I spoke with police investigators on January 29th, 2022, and told them all of the foregoing. I also testified before a grand jury that was convened in Norfolk County Superior Court. In addition, I testified at the 2 Norfolk Superior Court murder trials brought against Miss Reed. I told the truth in all of my statements and testimony. I understand that Miss Reed has alleged that I conducted a Google search on my cell phone of House Long to Die in the Cold at 2:27 a.m. on January 29th, 2022. That is not accurate. I did not conduct any such search at that time. Rather, I conducted that Google search at approximately 6:24 a.m. on January 29th, 2022. Also, the reason why I conducted that Google search at that approximately 6:24 a.m. time on January 29th, 2022 was because Miss Reed asked me to do so. On January 30th, I visited the O'Keefe family at their home in Canton with Carrie Roberts, her daughter, and my daughter. After visiting the O'Keefes, I left with Carrie Roberts to drop Miss Roberts' daughter off at the home of Sergeant Michael Lang, whose daughter is friends with Miss Roberts' daughter. Upon arriving in the driveway of Sergeant Lang's home, Sergeant Lang's wife, Trish Lang, came out of the house and sat in the back seat of Miss Roberts' car. This was the first time I recall meeting Trish Lang. At a certain point during the conversation in Miss Roberts' car, I entered Sergeant and Julie Lang's home to use the bathroom. At no point on January 30th, 2022, did I interact with Sergeant Michael Lang. On the morning of April 9th, 2023, I was approached in the driveway of my home by two individuals who did not originally identify themselves. My initial impression was that they were salespeople attempting to sell me something. When they first asked me to identify myself, I told them I was not the homeowner, but that I was Nicole Albert, in hopes that they would leave my property. When I identified myself as Nicole Albert, the two individuals still did not identify themselves and subsequently left my property. Shortly after the two individuals left my property, I received a phone call from those same individuals. During that phone call, for the first time, those two individuals identified themselves as agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigations and asked to meet with me. In response, I immediately identified myself as Jennifer McCabe and invited them back to my home for a meeting. However, I requested that they wait 10 minutes before returning so that I had time to change my clothes and brush my teeth. 10 minutes later, the FBI agents came back to my home and spoke with me inside for approximately 30 minutes. When the April 9th, 2023 meeting concluded, the FBI agents asked if I had contacted anyone prior to their arrival to inform anyone of the FBI's visit. At that time, I recalled having a telephone conversation with my husband, Matthew McCabe, and Carrie Roberts, and informed the FBI agents of the same. Shortly after they left my home, I recalled that I also had a telephone conversation with Peggy O'Keefe, Brian Albert, and my witness advocate at the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office prior to their arrival. I immediately called the FBI agents to inform them of the same. On June 8th, 2023, I testified before a federal grand jury regarding the events of January 28th and 29th, 2022. During those proceedings, I was questioned by Acting United States Attorney Josh Levy and Assistant United States Attorney Adam Deach. Following my testimony, both Mr. Levy and Mr. Deach walked me down the hallway into a room where my attorney was waiting. When we were in the hallway, Mr. Levy apologized to me for having to go through the federal grand jury process and informed me that I was a great witness. Mr. Levy then repeated these comments to my attorney when we arrived in the waiting room. I have never been the target of any FBI investigation, nor have I ever been indicted, charged, or prosecuted for anything related to the death of Officer O'Keefe. Ms. Reed never once said in my presence, either to me or anyone else, that she saw or observed Officer John O'Keefe enter the home of 34 Fairview on January 29th, 2022. Subscribed and sworn to under the penalties of perjury this 7th day of July, 2026, Jennifer McCabe.
I mean, there's a lot there, right? Wow.
There's a lot there.
I mean, so Levy is telling her she's a great witness, and he
and telling her
and apologizing to
her and apologizing, and he is the acting U.S. attorney, and he knows what's happening to these people.
Yes.
Yep.
Because they had the blogs, right? He knows what these people are going through, and he does nothing, and he continues. Wow.
It's like the 227, you know, the footnote that they have about the 227 and the FBI.
Yes.
They have the, you know, they did nothing. They knew, and they did nothing to help them.
They just like hung them out to dry. And at that point, she's a federal witness, right? Why didn't he protect his witnesses?
I mean, that is what I ask Adam Deach pretty much
every day
on Twitter.
Yeah.
Can we reach out to him again?
These are your witnesses. Why did you not protect them?
Can we take that and reach out to his campaign again and ask him that specific question?
Yeah.
Happily. I will happily do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand you don't want to come on our show, but can you answer this? Because nobody in the Boston media is going to bother doing it. They're just not going to do it. But I would love to know his answer to that.
I'm trying to find it, but I cannot find it. Maybe you guys can help me.
I think another really important thing that just doesn't get talked about enough is that she was already had her alibi in motion, right? That she left John at the waterfall.
Yes. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And Jen ruined it. it.
The other thing,
that was going to be. Imagine if she hadn't seen them outside.
Right.
Or Lucky.
Yeah.
Or Lucky, because that's how she was.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is, why is she talking about her taillight? You're telling me you're so upset that you're calling people at 4 something in the morning, and yet you're just going to stop and
it's that compulsion.
Well, someone else brought up a really good point, which someone posted today, and I feel like it might have been Eagle Eye Girl, but I could be wrong.
I think it was Lunch Lady.
It was Lunch Lady, who I love. Yes.
Who said, how did she know it was?
How did she hadn't backed into John's car yet when she called Jen. So why was her taillight broken?
Yeah, and she has 2 different stories about that too, right? She has 2 different stories about that.
Yeah,
true.
She says in one story that she didn't know until she actually saw the Ring video when it was entered into discovery. She didn't know that she hit his car. But in another story, she actually describes feeling herself hit his vehicle.
Right.
So it's another discrepancy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then as far as the 227, I'm trying to find that. It's in the Voss interview. She basically she admits that she asks a very similar question.
She does.
But I can't find it.
I know what you're talking about, Dan.
Yeah.
See if I can find it. Let me
Was it to the medic?
Let me read you something while you're looking for that, because this really caught my ear when you were reading Jen's statement. So listen to Jen saying, in the car, Karen said, could I have hit him? And then when they get to the scene, she says, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. So in Karen's motion, this is what she says. Miss McCabe falsely told first responders that Miss Reed said, could I have hit him? She later testified at trial. Miss Reed said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. So she's accusing Jen of lying when what she's really doing is mixing up these 2 statements, one that was made in the car and the one that was true that Jen said that she told the people on the scene, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. But she's deliberately confusing those 2 things. And Jen is telling you, here's the order that it happened in. And she did say both of these things, but they're separated in time.
Yeah.
They tried to do that in court too, in trial.
Yeah.
To confuse it, like she was lying.
Yeah. And I mean, let's remember, right? Free Karen Reed is, Jen McCabe, big fat liar. Karen, saying that I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. We have 4 first responders who testified to the same exact thing.
Yes. Yep.
The same exact thing.
And the next day, they like to try to say that the interviews were later on. Katie McLaughlin was the very next day.
Yes.
Saying that Karen told, she heard Karen say, I hit her, I hit her, I hit her. Sarah.
It was that day. It was that morning. She had mentioned it to one of the officers, who then mentioned it to an investigator, and then they asked her the next day. So she did say it on scene too, as they were leaving, I think.
But, right. Yes, she told them. Right. And Seraph said, Seraph, I forget how he says it.
Seraph, yeah.
Seraph, yeah.
He said that he heard her saying, this is all my fault. This is all my fault. So she's said it in multiple ways.
Yes. To different people. Who didn't hear the same thing, right? So she said one thing to Jen and Carrie in the car, and then she says these other variations of it to different people, none of whom talked to them, right? So That's called corroborating evidence. In case.
Oh my gosh, I don't know why I can't find this boss thing. I'm very aggravated.
I think
The other
I'm gonna
comment,
send it to you, and you can tell me.
the other thing
Oh,
she
you sent
says
it?
too on ID Doc, I believe it is, and she says, you know, that one thing, and it was in trial where they played it, and she's like, I know I said,
I hit him.
but did I say it as many times as law enforcement is saying I said it? So that statement right there is a question of not even knowing what you said, right? So how can you be so adamant you did not say something when you're also admitting right there in the way you're phrasing this that like, but did I say it as many times? It's like, do you have a memory or not? Do you have a memory of this or no?
But also she says, so in her motion, she says, Miss McCabe falsely told first responders that Miss Reed said, could I have hit him? In the Dateline interview, she tells Dennis, I said, yeah, could I have hit him? Like I can hear it in her voice.
You know what?
Said this multiple times to other people, and she's accusing in a motion filed in court Jen McCabe of lying about that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. You know,
Play the clip.
Snoo made a good point, and I don't know why I never even acknowledged this, but that statement, Lydia, remember, she now made it, we caught it in the, sorry, I'm tired, Gretchen's interview and on 2020, I believe, where she said it was preceded with a did.
Yeah, she practiced it.
And proceed, but proceeded doesn't mean ends with. Proceed actually means to carry on with. So she uses the word wrong, and she does it twice in two different interviews, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, so much of it is practice. And when you see the video of her saying the Dawn at the Ponderosa, actually you can see that that was practice. Like it's not naturally just rolling off her tongue, the Dawn at the Ponderosa. Like they set that up, that little scene where
what was she referencing there? Like what was she?
She was talking about Brian Albert. She was saying he's like the Dawn at the Ponderosa.
Oh.
I found the Google thing. Oh,
awesome.
Okay, so this is what she says in the Gretchen Boss interview. She says, so Gretchen's asking her, what's the conversations there when you guys are back in the car? She's claiming that all this happened in Carrie's car. We know that's not true. It happened in one of the officers' cars. Right, but she says, she says something along the lines of, I might have said, could I have done what happened? And how long do you think he was out there for? Because I'm trying to mathematically determine, if I dropped off John just before 1 o'clock and now it's 6 o'clock, he's been out there this whole time. How long was he in the house for? And Jen didn't offer much. Well, Jen didn't offer much. She didn't know much. But she didn't know anything.
If you saw him going in the house, why would you think he was out in the cold? Like nothing she says makes any logical sense. And it blows my mind that so many people have believed the nonsense that she has made up.
I mean, that is basically, she's just rewording the house long to die in the cold.
Yes, she is.
Right?
Right. She absolutely is.
And then she tries to make it sound like it's a bad thing. Jen, she says, she told me to just calm down and they're doing the best they can. Yeah, she was trying to keep you calm because you were acting like a freaking lunatic, which, okay, I'll give it to her, of course. Like, I would be going nuts too, like had I discovered that and seen all of that.
She always has to put that villain part, right?
Well, Jen didn't pray, okay.
Tell me anything, and then she just told me to shut up. Like
Jen didn't do the Our Father the right way. Remember?
Okay, let me tell you guys something. Okay, you guys know you all know Jen McCabe too, but I know Jen McCabe. I can confirm that girl prays better than Kearney right now. So I am not going to stand for that comment.
No, that was
no way.
That comment was ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Like,
Like
no,
in your
I don't know what they're really. I don't know. I mean,
in your grief and your shock, supposedly, right? As you just finding out that somebody you loved had died, and you're like, she dropped a word out of that Lord's Prayer.
that was. I mean, if you don't think that chick is nuts after
Nuts.
Right.
You guys, she talked about how well, like, she's like, the nurses in the psych ward were like treating me better than everybody else.
She did say that. Yeah. I mean,
She's like, I prayed the Our Father better than everybody. Also, like, the nurses in the psych ward treated me like so much better than everybody else.
Right, like I was the best crazy
that for a
person.
minute. Like,
I was the best crazy person.
what is wrong with you that you think someone you love is dead and you're actually taking
Right.
stock of how you're being treated compared to others? There is something psychologically wrong with you.
Well, on top of that, she's complaining that she wasn't treated well enough by John's mom after John's mom just lost her second and technically would say 3 children, right? Because she lost her son-in-law as well. I mean, she's in a state of shock and confusion, and Karen's complaining because everyone acknowledged her, at least, except for Peggy. And it's like,
And with
she doesn't think about this at all.
How dare Miss
They were rushing to John, who they just found out died. How dare they not stop and hug her?
Right.
And tell her how nice her tailored sleeves looked.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
nuts.
It's all her. It's like me. I'm the best person. I'm also the biggest victim. It's like, that's all it is. It's like, I'm amazing. I'm a victim. That's all you hear.
Yeah.
Black and white. You know, there's no moment of like, John's mom, I tried to get her attention. I couldn't. She seemed like she was in pain. There's none of that.
Right.
No.
Like, I wanted to make sure she was okay. No.
Yeah. Karen's allowed to be like, oh, was John hit by a car? But Peggy's not allowed to question it, right? It's like Peggy's the villain. I don't know if Karen has ever been diagnosed with a personality disorder. But if she has been, I would suspect it would be in the cluster B personality traits where everything is very black and white.
But why would she care that morning when she's just like this innocent little snowflake that is waking up to this disaster? If Peggy thought that John had been hit by a car, why would that be personally offensive to her, innocent person who went home and went to bed? Why would she care if that's what Peggy thought?
Right. Why take offense to it? What does it matter?
Especially
Dad, I gotta get out of here.
Snowplow.
Right. Dad, I gotta get out of here. Peggy thinks that John was hit by a car. Okay. Well,
all right.
You didn't do anything. What does it matter that she thinks that? Right.
And if he was hit by a plow, doesn't that all kind of fit? And isn't Peggy kind of smart?
Right.
Like, that's actually a really good point, Lydia.
Yep.
Yeah. It was Jimmy Cave's car.
Right.
She lies so easily, though. I was watching Bonnie in the Snow, and she was like, David Yannetti was my only call for a local attorney. And I think it was on purpose because she knew that Jack Diamond text was there.
Yeah.
But we all know it was there. And what blows my mind about it is she says that, and it's in the court filings, right? So we've got the exhibit, we've got the email from Elizabeth Little identifying it. It blows my mind. But again, like, all these people believe the nonsense that comes out of her mouth. No one, there's no trust but verify. There's, like, Karen said it, so it's true. I mean, I don't know.
Or they don't believe it and they are inspired by someone who got away with a crime.
I was just gonna say, I think what that comedian said, I think she's spot on.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, she's spot on. Like, they know she did this. They just don't care.
Let's be honest. How many of them have we seen that have criminal records themselves?
So many.
That did not get away with it. So of course there's a girl that does.
Right.
Yeah. In another life, right?
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. I mean, you're defined by who your heroes are, right?
Yeah.
We all are.
Right.
All of us. So
I should have clipped that comedian so we could have played it really quick next time.
I know.
I'm so mad.
Next time.
Yeah, we didn't get very far, you guys.
I know
Yeah.
we never do.
Julie,
I tried
that
so
is our
hard.
brand. We are on brand.
I'm gonna post that song. Is it Linkin Park? I tried so hard,
Yes.
but in the end, it didn't really matter. Like that's like our show. We just try so hard and we never quite finish anything.
Well,
We gotta finish it though, because
fair.
they go through we'll finish it next time because they go through the Facebook group. They go through Jackson's extrajudicial defamation of the plaintiffs.
Yes.
So
And then- yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna level set though, because by the time the next show comes around, there will have been 47 new filings. And so join us in 2 years when we finally finish this motion.
We were talking about this week, and I was saying, like, I was so scared when we talked about starting the show. Like, I don't know if we're gonna have material every week. We can't
We
even
were so
keep up.
scared.
Yeah, like we cannot even keep up.
Yeah. I mean, I need them to stop this stuff. Like,
Yeah,
I know.
we still have our jury show. Now we have the boss interview that we've pushed. Like, we have so much we've pushed.
And we had all these grand dreams of all these shows that had nothing to do with filings. Like we had a blooper show. We had a show about mean tweets. We had all these things.
Yeah.
Oh, the Mean Tweets show would have been so funny.
So much fun. We still need to, like,
Still
we
out
can
there.
do it on like a weekend or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll do a
Try to
weekend.
fit it in.
We'll do the coffee and mean tweets.
Yeah.
And to do
That
the
would be fun.
morning show.
Yeah. I think with this filing, and you're right, we have to finish it. We've got to get to Aidan's, but I mean, the biggest glaring problem here is the procedural error. And that is like a huge, I mean, like, wow.
Yeah. Can we, just before we end, can we at least go to, I'm trying to find what page it's on,
Sure.
the FBI Google search, just to show everybody what we were
Yes.
talking about earlier? Can we at least show that?
Yeah, definitely.
Let me
It's
see if I can find that
God,
page.
have I lost my, hang on. So okay, hang on. Does it say Google? Can I just go search?
Yeah, search
Okay.
Google. Or here, hold on. Let me see.
Let me
think it
do
does.
search.
Mine won't search.
Yeah, mine won't search either. What the
It
heck?
won't search. What the heck? They didn't OCR.
Hold on.
Darn it.
I can find it really quickly because I saved it. Hold on.
Did you guys get to this part yet where they literally say Jackson's extrajudicial defamation? The AC alleges that Jackson, acting as Reed's agent, defamed plaintiffs.
That was
No,
a
we haven't gotten there yet.
great.
Wow.
So great. And then that was when, because in her motion, she was like, well, just sue him then.
Yeah, they look like Timu attorneys.
Yeah.
With their filing, Karen's attorneys. I mean, it's really bad.
But
It's
some
really
of those things, like just sue Alan Jackson, sure feel like her voice, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I just wonder how long are they going to put up with it? Because I think what they think is,
Sounds like his voice too, though.
I think what
That's me.
I think they think they're going to have like this fame and this,
Yeah, they do.
all this adoring fans in their pajama pants. I don't know.
Tim in his flannel pajama pants.
Yeah, I don't know that the story ends that way, guys. And you're putting a lot of, and like, this is really bad. Like it looks really bad for you.
It does. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Remember that time that Hank said, if this had happened, when this happens as an attorney, it's embarrassing to me. Remember that hearing where they had filed 2 motions at cross purposes, and the defense wanted to make the actual motion that was in front of the court about something completely different. And Hank said, when this happens to me as an attorney, I'm embarrassed. Like, you should be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Because this is embarrassing. That's what this is. Not responding to the right complaint.
And I wonder what Gildea is going to do with this. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep tonight waiting to
I
see.
know.
Like,
I know.
I mean, Wow.
It's very cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what was that motion that he put out about like the email and get that here? We don't know anything about
So
that.
apparently Damon Seligson did give a reply. Remember yesterday he was ordered to write an affidavit as well as produce any reply to the end of that email chain, right? So Kiernan had stopped it at he had reached out twice, and that's where he stopped the communication chain.
Okay.
And so it was the judge on his own asking Damon, hey, was there a reply to these 2 emails? Because it had been like, 2 weeks and they hadn't replied. Then Kiernan, and I hope I'm saying that right, reached out again, and then he reached out again. And so the judge was saying, hey, did you reply to these 2? So I think people, so then Damon did the affidavit, produced some kind of email that he sent at almost exactly the same time, right? So
it was the same time, 12:31, 12:31.
Yeah. And now we're waiting for Kiernan's reply as far as why he had left that off. I am really impressed by this team of attorneys, the plaintiff's attorneys. So I'm,
I want to see.
I want to see what he has to say, because
I do. Yeah.
And those emails, like, I mean, he made clear, like, hey, we're doing this as a courtesy. There is nothing in the rules that requires us to even let you know that you messed up.
Yeah.
You made a huge mistake. I don't need to let you know that. And they, instead of being like, take a breath and let's kind of work this out, this is a gift, they got really snippy and snarky and snotty about the whole thing. And you see that in every email chain. It's just so contentious, and they take a personal affront to everything. Like they can't take any kind of criticism, any kind of questioning. They just immediately they switch to being nasty.
It's a personal attack. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Someone want to read this?
Sure.
I can't see it.
Footnote 10. Further, discovery will show that the federal government conducted its own forensic review of McCabe's phone using the Regional Computer Forensic Lab. The RCFL issued a report and concluded that McCabe's Google search occurred at 6:24 a.m. As McCabe testified, discovery will show that Reed and Kearney, through his role in the conspiracy, had access to the RCFL report and chose to consciously ignore it to peddle this false narrative.
Wow.
No one has said that before.
No.
Wow.
A lot of us wondered about this, that, obviously probably the feds had done their own investigation into the
I think Lally did mention it in a hearing once, but it was so vague, right?
Yeah.
And I think the prosecution in both trials, they were being prosecutors, and they were prosecuting the case in a court of law. But if they had acted like the defense and really highlighted this, even though it didn't, you know what I mean? It wouldn't have really done much. I don't know. I would rather that litigators litigate according to the law and not according to social media, but
I mean,
I don't know.
Think about this for a second, though. I mean, what we just talked about earlier, right? And Josh Levy and Adam Deach walking Jen McCabe down the hallway and saying, I'm sorry you have to go through this, and what a great witness you are. And think about Adam Deach, who wants to be Norfolk County DA. And he had this information.
He did.
And he saw what was being done to those witnesses, especially Jen McCabe with this ridiculous lie about the Google search, and that they did not do anything. That's disgusting.
He's running on this. He's
running on it.
Yeah,
he knows
email too.
I really think
this report came to him.
Yeah.
I really think he has extreme confirmation bias. He has his hands entangled in the Innocence Project or something similar to that, right? In his past.
Yeah.
Something to do with dog bite, something thing that he wrote. So I really, truly believe, it makes me think of, Lydia, that what did you just cover? That one guy's name,
Stockton
Rush, or that one lady that
Elizabeth Holmes.
Thank you, Elizabeth Holmes, where they have this prideful idea of what is true, despite because they just feel so intelligent in their own little area or field that they will ignore all these other things that contradict what they want to believe. And I really do think that has to be something to do with Deitch. Either that, or he is actually just straight up pure evil, because
that's my take.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. He had this.
Yeah, he's a
great. My take is that he is a liar.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, this is his job.
Yeah.
This isn't just like a lay person
right
that wants to confirm their bias. This is his job. And
he was kind of crossing those boundaries when, well, we know he crossed boundaries with Karen, but he crossed the boundaries with ARCA, right? Because he was telling them what previous testimony was, right? Am I right?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, he violated the sequestration order.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yep. But
this wasn't, no, I'm sorry. I'm not giving it to him. This was, I'm not giving him any type of
grace
here. Right.
I don't want to say that it would be grace giving him if it was something like his pride and his arrogance was just so inflated.
I think it was a scheme.
It feels like a scheme, especially with the donations.
Yeah.
Could be writing on the back of campaign on the back.
Yeah. The big landmine in here, though, is reserved for Aidan in this footnote. Because in this footnote, they say there is discovery that will prove that Aidan had access to this report by the feds that said that years of what he said about Jen McCabe, he knew was false.
Yep.
That's a huge problem.
And selling merch about that exact Google search.
He still wears the shirt. He still wears the shirt.
Yeah. Yes.
So I mean, I want to know what, I really wish some Free Karen readers would, post on Twitter about this or Facebook or something. Like, what are you guys' thoughts on this? Like, you have been completely bamboozled with this 227. And I mean, are you now going to say that the federal government is corrupt? That I mean, we had Ian Whiffen, Jessica Hyde, the two best digital forensic analysts in the world, say it didn't happen. Now you have the most powerful law enforcement agency in the world saying that it didn't happen. The only person, Richard Green, isn't even saying it happened anymore. He wouldn't testify. Nope. So no one said it happened in the second trial. No one, and that's the only. I mean, there's nothing else that.
And the conspiracy was built off of that. It was so it's like
it was the first thing I heard about the case.
Yeah, it's like once you remove these things you initially built this theory on, it crumbles. It's and it was built on a lot of things, right? Missing belt, missing this, missing that, whatever. Sorry,
don't forget what Aidan said about 227. I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but basically, like, if it didn't happen,
the whole thing doesn't work.
But it doesn't work, right?
And then now we know he
knew it didn't happen.
And now all of y'all know. But Carrie, your optimism about Free Karen Reed explaining it is adorable. It's not going to happen.
Oh God! I have no optimism for that, and you know that. Oh my God!
Tomorrow it will be. They are corrupt.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
they're going to get the our
computer forensics lab is
right now. They're all
googling
using emails to the RCFL.
Yes, they're going. They are finding
They're
out.
trying to find their Google reviews.
They're going to go find out who all is on there and what their mortgage amount is. And
1 star Yelp.
Yep.
That's
There's
what
no
they're
doubt about all of this. Like anyone that does not, go along with their theories, they are corrupt. How many corrupt people can there be in this world? Around this one case, around this
Everybody, Jenny.
It's crazy.
Everyone.
It's absolutely insane. They want the judge, they want him gone. Okay, so if we get another judge that once again does not rule in Karen Reed's favor, what? Now that judge needs to go too, and we need to find another one? That's not how it works. No, my objection really made a good point about this. I don't remember if it was today that she was talking about it or yesterday. Basically, she was saying if these rulings that this judge is making are surprising you, it's because you have unrealistic expectations of how all of this works. And that's the bottom line. Like they don't get it. They think that this judge should be ruling in Karen's favor with every single thing that comes down the line. And that is not how it works. Like you are insane if you think that that's how it's supposed to play out.
Well, and he will rule in her favor at times, right? Like look at the message she put out there.
Look at Kearney.
Very down the middle.
I just find it very telling how the law tubers who have, or say the tabloid law tubers, because there's good law tubers and there's tabloid law tubers, and how mad and upset they were that the judge had the audacity to talk about the ethics of the courtroom.
Right.
Well, they're the problem, right? It's because they listen to them. And they are the ones that are setting the unrealistic expectations of what should be happening in the courtroom.
Yep.
That's the whole problem.
Yep.
So I just want to say that there is one, RCFL is actually, it's part of the federal government. It's an FBI sponsored lab. So there's one Google review for the Chicago field office, and it is 5 stars. So I will be watching that.
See if it falls.
Yeah. Yes. They love to do reviews.
Yes, they do.
They love to do reviews. They love to mass report accounts. And I think that's another thing I was thinking the other day, imagine having to silence people because of what they're saying. Like how much do they know how guilty Karen Reed is that they have to silence what everyone else, against her is saying? I mean, you must really not believe. I don't even look at you guys at Free Karen Reed tweets. Like that's how inconsequential, you all are to me. Imagine, feeling this overwhelming need that they have to silence everybody on this side. That speaks a lot.
Because if you're telling the truth, someone else saying something, it's not a threat, right? But remember, even when that guy was trolling the Free Karen Reed people at the trial, and that woman cut the cord to his megaphone.
Yeah.
Like that was so symbolic of their approach. No one else can speak. Because if they speak, it's a threat to you. Whereas their speech is not a threat to us.
Right. No.
Everybody different. I mean, we see a bunch of these people too, some of the big main players of Free Karen Reed filing reports on one another, right? It's like it's mind-boggling how the law only is helpful for them,
right?
And anytime that it doesn't work in the way they want it to, it's just corrupt. Everything's corrupt,
right? It's justice as they think it should play out. That's not reality. That's not
corrupt unless someone needs a restraining order against a little 5'2" woman with a Twitter account.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
Crazy. But this is maddening. I mean, this footnote is maddening.
It is.
But it does contain a fun little Easter egg, so we'll see what happens with that.
I hope they add the dog bite one too. Wasn't the dog bite?
Yeah.
Yes. The FBI. Yes. The medical.
Didn't Garrett Wing show up in Aidan's response? I read it. I swear it's in Aidan's response.
Oh gosh, I didn't see it, but I don't
remember him. Stop it.
I have to look for it. Remember when he dressed up?
You got to resurface that video.
Yes, I have that video. I'll send it to you guys. Yeah.
I'm literally required at hospital.
Kearney actually is the one that found that video.
That
Which video?
And
The
so
Garrett
he dressed up as like a hot dog or
Oh
something.
yeah.
Hot dog.
Oh,
He was
he's a
selling
nut
Mexican
job.
ads. It was
nut
Well, look who brought him into it, Melanie Little. I mean, what did we expect?
right.
That's true. That is true.
He seems to be a very controversial
He is.
dog person.
He
Or
is.
what's his job? He's like a dog trainer.
Right?
He's the
He
Todd
is.
Rokita of dogs.
A lot of people have gone at him for his methods. Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
remember that.
no.
Yeah.
All
right,
so we
ladies.
finished, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's our brand.
So, and well, I mean, in our defense, this came out today.
Yes.
Yes.
We did our best. That's
did.
the theme of our show.
Our
We
best.
did our best.
We just do our best.
We do.
It's
our
low
goal.
budget.
Also, in our defense, they give a lot of material to make fun of.
I know.
So,
Yeah.
We'll have a lot for you guys next time. We'll have clips, we'll have media.
Yes.
And don't expect too much.
Please lower your expectations. Thank you.
yeah, we were 5 seconds from going live, realizing we had no intro. So,
Yeah.
that's why you got the 30-second countdown.
The good news is we have no secrets from you. We'll just
No.
tell you.
Very
We'll tell you what happened.
Very honest.
Yes.
All right.
Well, thanks for reading, Lydia.
Yeah, thank you.
And,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Lydia.
You bet.
and you guys all have a good night.
Have a good night. We'll wrap up. We'll finish this up. Why not? We'll find a day.
We'll
2
see.
years from now.
We will or we won't.
Yeah.
I
I don't know.
It's a cliffhanger, guys.
Good
All
night.
right. Have a good night, guys.
Have a good night.
everyone.